Hey everybody, welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I am Jason C, and it's the most wonderful time of the year where I get to taste all three Elijah Craig Barrel Proof releases for 2020 to see which one comes out as my favorite. We're going to be doing a blind mashup right here of all three, so stick around. All right, guys, so as you know, like every year, Elijah Craig releases three of these each year, an A batch, a B batch, and a C batch. The A usually comes out around January, the B comes out around May, and the C batch comes out around September, October-ish. Now, depending where you live, you could see these at different times, which I think is strange. I'm not really sure how Heaven Hill works their distribution, but sometimes you might not see the A batch, which is supposed to come out in January, until the middle of the year when we're looking at the B batch about to release. So depending where you are, these do release a little bit sporadically. Now, no matter where or when you can get these in your area, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof still undoubtedly in my mind is one of the highest value bourbons on the market. It's uncut, it's unfiltered, it's 12 years old. They retail for about 65, 70 bucks. They are a little bit higher in some areas, but even at 65, 70 bucks, I still think it's an absolute, just an amazing value. The only bottles I would put up there, I think, is that high of a value is the Knob Creek single barrel store picks from Jim Beam, which can get up to a 13, 14, 15-year-old in age, 120 proof, and those are about 50 bucks, 60 bucks sometimes the most. Both of them are just amazing values, but with that said, it's time to taste all three Elijah Craig Barrel Proof releases for this year. All right, guys, so I have all three of them poured in my Mash and Drum Glencairns with my Mash and Drum top. So what I'm gonna do is take these off, put them to the side, let them breathe a little bit, and I'm gonna mix them around. All right, guys, so now that I have them all mixed up, let's dive in. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna start here, work our way down. Let's see which Elijah Craig is my favorite for this year, for 2020. Here we go. Wow, this one's very chocolatey. Chocolate and caramel. Man, there's a ton of vanilla in here. I mean, these are gonna be pretty proof heavy. I'm definitely smelling the alcohol coming out of this one. Definitely got the typical Heaven Hill nuttiness coming through here. Kind of a dark, like roasted peanut. Maybe like some dark roasted peanuts covered in chocolate. There's a slight dark fruit characteristic I'm getting here. But for me, this one is really mostly peanuts and chocolate and a little bit of honey. Definitely some like burnt toffee almost too on this one. Let's go for a sip. Cheers, guys. Oh, dear Lord. Ooh, that came in hot. Damn. So when I did this blind tasting last year for the 2019 batches, for those of you that watch my channel and seen some of my live streams, I had a little accident when I was cleaning up after doing all three of these. For those of you that didn't see it, here it is. I fell. Yeah, it just completely fell on my ass while I was trying to get up. My foot was literally on top of the microphone battery pack that was on the bottom. Was on the floor, and I stepped on it, and I put my weight on it. My foot went right out from under me, and boom, right down. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's go for a sip of the first one here again. So this one, yeah, this one has a very big punch of flavor, but there's a lot of alcohol on that one. Whew, I would venture a guess that has to be maybe the A batch, because the A batch is almost 140 proof. I mean, I love the punch up front of the flavor here, but this one is really finishing with so much alcohol. All right, let's get a quick sip of water. Water time. All right, let's go to the next one here. All right, this one smells a lot nicer. Yeah, this one is just coming off way too astringent, man. That's like pure, it's like nail polish remover. This one's a little bit softer. This one's more of a butterscotch note, which when I find butterscotch and Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, those are usually my favorite. Man, this one's brown sugars. Definitely rich caramel here. Getting a little bit of that chocolate note in this one too. There's a cherry note I'm getting on this one that I think I was getting a hint of it here, but I think it was masked a lot by the alcohol. Yeah, this one has just a much more well-balanced nose. A lot of very dark, rich caramels, vanillas, a little bit of a butterscotch, some chocolate, and definitely a little bit of a cherry there. Again, more of the Heaven Hill peanut note as well. Let's try this one, here we go. Ooh, that one's nice too. Not as astringent as the first one here, as A. But this one is coming across a little bit more, easy to take on the palate here. A lot of the butterscotch is coming through too, but more of the, I'm surprised how much cherry I'm getting in this one. Let's go for another sip. Yeah, this is like chocolate, peanut shells. There's almost like a salty characteristic to that one too that I'm getting. It's almost like drying my palate out. Definitely some oak presence. It's not bitter, it's sweet. That 12-year-old age statement, you really can feel the oak presence here. It's really nice. Just oak and a lot of sweetness, a lot of, again, not so much cherry on the palate as I was getting on the nose. This one's a little bit more drying on the palate, even more drying than the first one. Letter A here for me was, it wasn't as drying, but I was just like tasting pure alcohol. This one with like kind of like this salty sweetness, almost like salted pretzel type aspect to it in the second one. One more sip. Yeah, it's like salted caramel. I think I like number 2 over number 1 so far. When it comes to just the way it tastes, the way it finishes, the amount of what flavors I'm getting here. Letter A is just way too astringent here. Water. All right, let's go to the last one. Oh, okay. So the nose on this one is just, yeah, the nose on this one is easily the most enticing. Yeah, when you hear 12-year-old bourbon and the flavors and the sweetness that you want to come out of that one, that's in this glass right here. This is way more butterscotch than the two of them combined. This is just sweet, sweet butterscotch. Man, the nuttiness. You know what we got here, guys? It's butter pecan. We got a butter pecan alert right here going down in glass C. Yeah, butter pecan. Man, super, super sweet vanillas, like vanilla extract, caramels. Definitely get a hint of cherry in here as well. Super, super sweet oak. Man, that's easily the nose destroys the other two here. I don't know about destroys, but when you're thinking about a 12-year-old bourbon, like I said, this is what you want in the nose. So here we go, let's go for a sip. Translates to the palate. Not completely, but it's probably the closest one from the other two. Yeah, again, that butterscotch is coming through. The butter pecan, the cherry. I need another sip of that one. Man, dark brown sugars. Again, a hint of chocolate. The nuttiness, the sweetness. That is like the best dulce de leche ice cream dessert in a glass. This one's also drinking the easiest. This one isn't coming across as harsh as the other two. This one is still a little bit mellowed out here. All right, let's go for one more sip of each of these. Glass A is good, there's just too much damn alcohol on the back end. Yeah, it's almost to the point where it's like, yeah, it's like pure like nail polish remover. Let's go to B here. Yeah, so number 2 here, it's definitely somewhat astringent, but you're gonna expect that with, you know, proofs being this high. But yeah, I really like this like salted caramel pretzel type note I'm getting in number 2. That's really good. Again, not sure which one each one is here. I still think number 1 is, I think it's that A batch, which was so high in proof. So I think it's gonna be between these two here. No, that's good. Yeah, that's my favorite. All right, so I think I'm gonna rank these. I think I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna go in reverse order, with the last one being first place, the middle one being my second favorite, and glass 1 or glass A, whatever you wanna call it, was actually my least favorite. So let's find out which each one is. Let's start with the last one, which I thought was the A batch. And A120, which came in at 136.6 proof. I mean, it is a flavor bomb. It's a lot of flavor, but it's just too damn hot. You know, I'm gonna add a little water in there and see if it does anything to it. I'm gonna let that sit for a second, see if that gets any better. All right, second place. This was like the salted caramel pretzel one I was getting. It was a little bit salty and sweet. Let's see what this one is. Oh man, that is the new C920, which means you can't stop it. You can't stop it. The B520 at 127.2 proof. The C batch came in at 132.8. So surprising for me that the lowest proof one actually won out. And I think when you have something in that 120, 130 range, if you can get it to a point where it still sips like it's 115 or lower, which I think the B batch does, then you got something special. Also, the nose on the B batch was just incredible. This thing smells like I wish most bourbons would smell. It's perfect nose. The palate, it drinks sweet. There's definitely some oak presence. I mean, you definitely get the strength of the barrel proof, but it's not overpowering like A is. I added some water to A. Let's see how it did. It brought out more sweetness with the water on A, but the oak got a little bit more bitter. So I think the combination of the oak and the water and and just that high alcohol content just makes it a little bit bitter. So batch A for me would probably be my biggest pass out of all three. It just drinks way too damn hot. And even adding water to it doesn't really help it that much. Now between the C batch and the B batch, I just think B is a little bit sweeter, drinks a little bit easier. It's a little bit more of a nice rounded out flavor profile, where with the C batch, you do get some more of the alcohol punch, but I will say that it's got this really nice salted caramel pretzel flavor I was getting. Hint of cherry there too. Really like the flavor profile for that one. But if you haven't gotten C yet, maybe you're about to get B, or if you found the B batch, B520, buy as many as you can of that one because it's so damn good. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this blind mashup for the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof series for 2020. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button below. Please hit that like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Let me know if you've gotten all three yet, if you have put them in a blind tasting. Which one is your favorite? Is it still the B? Did you like C more? What do you think of A? And like I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So cheers. And now I'm gonna see if I can get up without falling on my ass like I did last year. All right, cheers. If I fall, you'll have to tune in next time to find out. Take care, everybody.